I'm Sara Roberts. I am the author of 2 business books, a third one coming soon. I'm a keynote speaker and I'm an executive consultant to numerous Fortune 250 companies and Global 1000 companies on the topics of organizational transformation, culture change, and change management. Collaboration, why is it important for enterprise organizations? Well, I think because enterprises often have tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of employees, oftentimes very geographically far-flung, I think it's really important for these types of organizations to get to the heart of of understanding how to effectively collaborate and when and why collaboration is needed. Collaboration, if done well, can really help to improve productivity. It can help to accelerate innovation. It can really engage employees. And I think the important part about large enterprises is to understand really knowing what they know. And with all of this expertise buried deep in these organizations, it's very important to have the tools and the processes and the wherewithal to suss that out. Getting back to the enterprise component, I think technology has the ability to really enable these processes. Again, I will back up from that every single time though and say that the technology is nothing without the culture and the appropriate change management, because what's really important is not so much that we implement technology, but that we really get adoption of it. And so I think it's very important that as we're seeking out the technology tools, that we understand it's not a build it and they will come kind of mentality, that we have to really understand the use cases in the organization of where it's really going to thrive and seed it appropriately. I know a lot of times when organizations undertake technology implementations, sometimes they will go very wide and shallow. And for me, I think the best way to look at it is where can we go narrow and deep right away with the early adopters who not only have a collaboration pain point, but that are also savvy with using the technology so there isn't so much of a learning curve. So, on the key ingredients for driving change, I think it's really multidimensional. And I think not only is it really important that you have good executive sponsorship, but I'll go a step further and say it's very important for executives to be visible and participating. And so you can't necessarily expect managers, individual contributors to go on to these technology tools when they don't see it modeled from their executives. Speaking about middle management, oftentimes, and it totally makes sense, individual contributors' incentives are aligned with where and what their managers want them to do. And so it's very important for us to educate our middle management and ensure that they are coaching and they're actively participating as well. I think education and training goes a long ways. As I was mentioning before, I think we really have to take a different approach to adoption and also use Lodi and really look at who are our early adopters and where should we start so that we can move the adoption curve along and get those folks that are very visible and get them actively participating so that they can demonstrate and show others the way. So, why I wrote my book? That's a big question. I decided to write my book. I had been working with numerous organizations over the last 12 years, and in particular over the last couple, particularly with companies like GE, companies like Lowe's Home Improvement. And what I really started to see is how new era companies, as I observed the companies in the Valley, as I worked with those organizations as well, right here in Silicon Valley, I'm here in San Francisco, as I started to see what these ingredients were of these companies that were really thriving in the new era. And so my book is called Nimble, Focused, Feisty, and it's organizational cultures that win in the new era and how to create them. And really, it's almost almost like when I was working with these companies, I couldn't keep it to myself, particularly around GE and how they have really taken their enterprise and under Jeff Immelt's leadership have really moved it to be a new company for a new time. And to me, my passion is really about enabling all of our companies to be able to thrive in this very volatile, uncertain, complex, ambiguous world. And for me, I wanted to capture that and really help companies to understand what that looks like, to be adaptable, to be flexible, and to have your culture as your source of ingenuity.